So for my presentation, I decided that I would try using a webcam as my method of presenting my presentation. So here it goes. I wanted to talk to you guys about a lecture that I went to for one of my lecture writing materials. The lecture was by Dean Newsma, and he talked about a engineering program at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. It's an undergraduate program in which they tried to implement and integrate social and ethical issues into projects that the students work on in 4 studio-based, project-based classes. So the program is kind of an interesting program. It's kind of a little bit more experimental than most, but it tries to focus on a design, innovation, and society kind of engineering major, if you will, where they design and their projects are aimed and geared towards designing needs, localism, sustainability issues, and they do this through a bunch of teaching methods, as well as interdisciplinary efforts by the teachers themselves. So you get multiple different engineering groups. You get sustainability teachers, you get engineering teachers, you get social science teachers, and they all help and teach these studio-based classes. However, there are a couple issues that I found with the project that I personally took to be a little bit questionable in terms of their methods. One, they're trying to develop these programs in order for the students who are looking to become engineers. They're really aiming at drawing these students in and making them into what they think is an engineering major. However, at the same time, while they're promoting this major as an engineering major, the students don't actually graduate as engineers, as BSs in engineering. They graduate with a BA in Design, Innovation, and Society. Although they do have the option to go for an mechanical engineering double major. However, I think that this is just a little bit questionable and might even be an ethical issue, promoting something as a class that, or a major that it really isn't. And I think that this will provide some problems that might affect those students' chances in the future to get jobs and succeed in the future, unless this program is really well known for producing engineers that are up for the task. However, I feel that without that engineering major, the BS in engineering, they will struggle to find engineering jobs in such a competitive environment. The second thing is that in order for these engineers to be in order for them to implement and integrate these social and ethical issues, such as designing for the needs of students in projects such as creating a program that helps children in some poor cities and some poor locations within the city. They created a program that helps teach these kids how to play math using a video game type environment, or creating a cafeteria food that uses local grown products that are healthy and good for the environment. So implementing these ideas into all aspects of the engineering major is quite difficult, and it requires that the major take complete control over a student's entire class schedule from freshman to senior year. And I find that this is also a big ethical issue, I think, in that I don't think that it is right for teachers or majors or colleges to take complete control over what a student wants to learn. I think that that just breeds one type of engineer, one type of student, and it's pretty much you're making, the colleges and universities are making these students into what they want, a product. And I don't think that that's right. I think that being able to go into colleges and choose what you want to learn, choose between classes, you know, your engineering, your major might be engineering, but you like some art classes, and I think that makes you a little more unique and diverse than you would be if, let's say, the ASU College of Engineering forced you to take X class versus Y class. I think that those are two big ethical questions that I raised in my paper, and I think are pretty big in this presentation by Dean. I think it's a very interesting idea, and I think that the project-based, hands-on style of the major, where they have these 4 classes that are pretty much just studio classes, where you go in and the class is all about the project, and teachers are helping you and trying to get these students to focus on the ethical and environmental, social side of the effects of a project, and how the project's going to ultimately affect everyone else, they're not just completing it for the goal of the project, but rather looking at the effects it'll have on everyone. And I think that that's an interesting idea that even I think the ASU could work on a little more, especially in our engineering major. But I think they're taking a step in the right direction, but it still needs a lot of work. Well, that's my presentation. Thank you.